Hello and welcome to Obla Air, a Learn English radio series from the British Council. I'm Joan Walker.
And I'm David Evans. And in this series, we aim to improve your English language skills with the help of a drama about the lives of the staff and passengers of a budget airline in the city of Freeport.
In the story so far, we've heard that business has been booming at Obla Air, and so the captain and Vinny wanted to run an extra flight every week.
But their bank manager, Mrs. Kashori, refused to give them a loan to pay for it. She told them they needed to raise their profile, to do some more marketing.
And so the captain decided to sponsor Freeport's first ever marathon, to give them money in return for publicity. But things haven't been going according to plan. As we heard last time, the special marathon T-shirts arrived late, and now posters are going up in Freeport with the name of the wrong sponsor.
Oh yes, and the T-shirts have arrived.
There you are. One for you, Layla, and one for you, Muzz. What do you think?
Obla Air. We go the distance. I like that.
It's about time we got something like this.
Yeah, I know. They should have been here last week.
I mean, I don't think anybody knows we're sponsoring the marathon.
Why do you say that?
Well, down on Market Street this morning, they were putting up these big posters saying the first ever Freeport Marathon, sponsored by the Freeport Juice Corporation.
The Freeport Juice Corporation?
Yeah, we saw 2 or 3 of them, didn't we, Layla?
Yeah, it didn't seem right. I mean, we're the ones paying the money, aren't we?
Well, you certainly are.
The next scene takes place on Freeport's West Beach, where Maz and Layla are training to run in the marathon. Layla says,
Muzz, do you know what? You seem to be in a really good mood today.
and my first question is, why is Maz in a good mood? We then hear another runner approach them from behind. She's going much faster than they are and shouts,
Excuse me, coming through.
But Maz and Layla don't move quickly enough and she bumps into them and stops. Maz says to her,
Just a moment. Don't I know you?
So who is this person? And what is she wearing? Oh, and one more question for you. What happens to Maz at the end of the scene? Let's listen and find out.
Oh, look at that. Doesn't the beach look great? Everything looks so good in the morning.
Muzz, do you know what? You seem to be in a really good mood today.
Yeah, I suppose I am.
But I didn't think you liked training. I didn't think you wanted to run the marathon.
The funny thing is, I'm actually starting to enjoy it. You know, when my alarm went off this morning, I was really looking forward to it.
So what's changed?
I don't know. I suppose it's like most things. It gets easier the more you do it.
Excuse me! Excuse me, coming through!
Watch where you're going.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, are you all right?
Yes, of course. My fault entirely.
Oh, just a moment. Don't I know you?
Oh, yes. You work for Obla Air, don't you?
That's right. I'm Muzz and this is Layla. And you're Mrs. Kashori, aren't you? The bank manager?
Yes, I am. Well remembered.
Are you training for the marathon too?
Yes. The first ever Freeport Marathon. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I like your T-shirts, by the way.
Yeah, nice, aren't they? Obla Air. We go the distance.
I heard a rumour you were sponsoring the marathon. Is it true?
It certainly is. The captain's raising our profile.
Well, he's not doing a very good job so far. That's the first Obla Air T-shirt I've seen.
Yeah, well, they've only just arrived. There have been a few problems.
Well, you must ask the captain to send me one. I'm wearing this one from the Freeport Juice Corporation because that's what they sent me in the post.
The Freeport Juice Corporation. Oh no, they shouldn't have sent you that.
Yeah, like they were the sponsors, but now we are.
Sounds to me as if someone should sort this out. There's no point in sponsoring something unless you tell people about it. Anyway, good luck with your training. I'll see you at the race.
Yeah, you too.
So that's Mrs. Kashori. She's the one who wouldn't give the captain a loan. Is that right?
Yeah. Come on, Layla. Let's go.
She's got a cheek asking for a T-shirt then.
I know what you mean, but the captain likes to keep her happy.
She can certainly run though, can't she?
Yeah, she's fast. I don't think I could ever run like that.
Muzz! Look out, Muzz!
What?
Watch where you're going!
What? Ah!
Are you alright, Muzz?
Ow! What? I've twisted my ankle. Ah! Oh, can you help me?
So why is Muzz in a good mood? He tells Layla,
I'm actually starting to enjoy it. You know, when my alarm went off this morning, I was really looking forward to it.
and who is the person they meet on the beach?
Mrs. Kashori.
Yes, it's the bank manager, Mrs. Kashori, who's also training for the marathon. She says to them,
The first ever Freeport Marathon. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
and what is she wearing?
A T-shirt from the Freeport Juice Corporation.
She explains.
That's what they sent me in the post.
Layla replies,
Oh no, they shouldn't have sent you that.
because of course, Obla Air are now the sponsors of the marathon, not the Freeport Juice Corporation. So it sounds like something else has gone wrong with the sponsorship arrangements. And what happens to Muzz at the end of the scene?
He falls over.
Yes, he falls over and twists his ankle. And how bad is his injury? We'll find out in just a moment.
You're listening to Obla Air, a Learn English radio series brought to you by the British Council.
And don't forget that you can find more resources at the British Council Learn English website at learnenglish.britishcouncil.org. The next scene takes place in the Obla Air office. Betsy and Pavi are looking after Muzz. Pavi says to him,
Look at your ankle. It's all swollen.
if something is swollen, it's bigger than normal, often because of an injury. The captain comes into the office, sees Muzz and says,
He'll be okay to run on Sunday. You'll be okay, won't you, Muzz?
and what is Betsy's answer to that question? The captain then complains about all the things that have gone wrong with the sponsorship of the marathon.
The office is full of oranges. Freeport is full of posters for the wrong company. And now we've only got one runner in the race.
And Muzz adds,
Oh, yeah. And loads of people have got the wrong T-shirt too.
we then hear Layla say something which could make the situation even worse. What does she say? And finally, one more question for you. What does the captain offer to do at the end of the scene?
Ah!
Muzz, stay still for a moment. Oh, Muzz, look at your ankle. It's all swollen.
Yeah, and it really hurts.
It doesn't look good at all.
You stay there. I'll put some ice on it for you. Anyway, well, look on the bright side. At least you don't have to run the marathon now.
But you know something? I was actually starting to enjoy it.
Well, perhaps you'll get better. You've still got a few days.
I don't think that's going to get better in a few days. It looks quite bad to me.
Hello, everyone. What's going on here? Muzz, are you okay?
He fell over and twisted his ankle.
Quite badly.
There was a hole in the pavement and we were talking, and I guess he just didn't see it.
But he'll be okay to run on Sunday. You'll be okay, won't you, Muzz?
Oh no, there's no chance of that.
You're joking.
No, I'm not. Just look at his ankle. He can't run 26 miles on that.
Oh, I don't believe this. Why is everything going wrong? We spent all this money trying to raise our profile, and what happens? The office is full of oranges. Freeport is full of posters for the wrong company, and now we've only got one runner in the race.
Oh, yeah, and loads of people got the wrong T-shirt too.
What?
Yeah, we met Mrs. Kashori this morning, and she was wearing a T-shirt from the Freeport Juice Corporation.
No. Oh, I'm going to have a word with Sophia. We can't go on like this. Something has got to be done.
Captain, You know, you said we only had one runner in the race.
Yes.
Well, I always said I wouldn't run the marathon by myself. Don't you remember? I mean, it's not really fair, is it?
No, Layla, you can't drop out now. You've done all that training.
But I don't want to run all that way by myself. I don't see why I should.
Layla, what are you saying?
It's all right. It's all right. Layla's got a point. She always said she didn't want to run by herself. So, Layla, I tell you what, I'll run with you.
Really?
Captain, are you serious?
Of course I'm serious.
But, Captain, there is only 3 days to go. You can't possibly train for a marathon in that time.
I don't see why not. I'm pretty fit.
So will you come training with me tomorrow morning?
Absolutely. I'll see you outside the office at 6 o'clock.
So when the captain asks if Muzz will be able to run the marathon on Sunday, what is Betsy's answer?
Oh, no. There's no chance of that.
She continues,
Just look at his ankle. He can't run 26 miles on that.
and what does Layla say that could make the situation even worse?
I always said I wouldn't run the marathon by myself. Don't you remember? I mean, it's not really fair, is it?
Pavi says,
No, Layla, you can't drop out now. You've done all that training.
and so what does the captain offer to do? He says to Layla,
I tell you what, I'll run with you.
the others are surprised. Betsy says,
But, Captain, there's only 3 days to go. You can't possibly train for a marathon in that time.
but the captain sounds determined and arranges to meet Layla the next morning at 6 o'clock. So, can the captain really run a marathon after only 3 days training? We'll find out as the story develops. You're listening to Au Bleu Air, a Learn English radio series brought to you by the British Council. Now let's remind you of some of the language that we've met in today's programme, in particular some colloquial expressions. When Mrs. Kishore was talking about the Au Bleu Air t-shirts, she used an expression which means to get news from people informally, normally from conversations. Can you hear the phrase?
I like your T-shirts, by the way.
Yeah, nice, aren't they? Au bleu air. We go the distance.
I heard a rumour you were sponsoring the marathon. Is it true?
It certainly is. The captain's raising our profile.
And the phrase is,
I heard a rumour. I heard a rumour.
we also heard Layla use a phrase to say that Mrs. Kishore was asking for something that she didn't deserve. Can you hear it in this clip?
So that's Mrs. Kishore? She's the one who wouldn't give the captain a loan. Is that right?
Yeah, come on, Layla. Let's go.
She's got a cheek asking for a T-shirt then.
And the phrase that means Mrs. Kishore was asking for something that she didn't deserve was,
She's got a cheek. She's got a cheek asking for a t-shirt.
and finally we heard Pavi use a phrase that means to think about the good or positive things in a difficult situation. Can you hear it?
It doesn't look good at all.
You stay there, I'll put some ice on it for you. Anyway, well, look on the bright side. At least you don't have to run the marathon now.
And what's the phrase that means to think about the good things in a difficult situation?
Look on the bright side. Look on the bright side.
But that's all for today. You've been listening to Au Bleu Air, a Learn English radio series brought to you by the British Council. And remember, you can find more resources to help you learn English at learnenglish.britishcouncil.org. Until the next time, from David Evans and me, Joan Walker,
Goodbye.
goodbye.